Hey everybody, Ed Matthews here with Clark Street Capital, and this week's edition of Ask Ed is all about syndication. So this week, Deb from Oyster Bay asks, Ed, what is syndication and how can someone like me get involved? That's a great question, Deb. So basically, think about it like this. When I was a little kid riding in the backseat of my parents' station wagon, I was always looking at these apartment buildings and wondering, how rich do you actually have to be in order to afford one of those buildings and own it and run it? Turns out, not that rich. So in previous episodes, you probably heard me talk about how real estate is unequivocally a team sport, and syndication is an excellent example of that. So basically, syndication enables a group of people to come together, like you and me, and buy, rehab, and ultimately rent out apartment buildings as a group. So syndication is classic investing as a team, right? A group of passive investors will come together, they'll pool their money, whether that's from retirement accounts, savings, cash, whatever, to acquire a building in partnership with a general partner, someone like me, or also called a sponsor. So there are typically two types or classes of investors on the team. Class A investors are the limited partners. These are the folks who invest their money, whether that be through savings, cash, or even retirement funds in the project. And they'll own, usually somewhere between 70 and 80% of the project. They don't have any operational responsibilities because that's the job of the general partners. So Class B investors are the general partners. This is the part of the team that is responsible for finding the project, financing the project, acquiring property, rehabbing the property, and then ultimately renting, stabilizing, and managing that property so that appreciation is forced, value is created, and cash flow is also created. In exchange for these efforts, the general partner typically receives between 20 and 30% of the project value, along with some fairly minor management and other related fees. So as the property stabilizes, it begins to produce cash flow. And this is the fun part. Now that the team has a valuable cash flowing asset, the general partner delivers the quarterly returns to the limited partners. In other words, the limited partners receive cash distributions in return for their investment. Typically, the limited partners receive a preferred return of between 7 and 9%, depending on the deal. Because it is a preferred return, that means the limited partners get paid first before the general partners receive any income. After a hold period of usually between 3 and 5 years, the property is refinanced or sold. The limited partners' money is returned along with the gains from the value appreciation of the property. Again, usually 70 to 80% of the gains, depending on the specific deal. So once the limited partners have their cash back and have received their gains, then the general partner receives their cut from what remains. Overall, target returns for the limited partners range between 12 to 20+%, again, depending on the deal. So that's this week's edition of Ask Ed. If you enjoyed the video or got something out of it, please subscribe to our channel and feel free to like, share, or comment. We do read every single comment. And if we can ever be of service, please shoot us an email at asked@clarkst.com, or you can visit us on the web at www.clarkst.com, or call us at 860-675-5800. Thanks again for listening. Until next week.